Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Erev Shabbos, Parshas Rabbi. Torah begins very dramatically. Behold, I place before you today the bracha and the klala. And it seems that it's all about the bracha and the klala. It's all about the blessing, it's all about the curse, about the choices that we have to make in life. And do I need another parsha? Do I need another statement by Moshe Rabbeinu to tell me that life is all about choices? And that depending on the choices that we make is really going to depend on what our future is going to be like. We know this already, it would seem. Plus you have to wonder, what's the word re'eh? See that I've placed before you today the blessing and the curse. Know that I've placed before you today. Understand that I've placed before you today. Shema Yisrael nosan lifnechem. Right? Use the word Shema, which we've used many, many times. Moshe Rabbeinu is comfortable with that word. Why re'eh? Why see? And the pasuk starts in the singular. Re'eh, you should see. I'm placing lifnechem before you, plural. Why switch the tenses in the middle of the sentence? Starting with the singular, then going to the plural. And it's not the first time that we're talking about blessings and curses. So what's going on in this pasha? So I think the simple understanding is the reason that it's said in the singular is because Moshe was talking to every individual, and we have to get the impression that it's talking to every individual. But why does it have to talk to every individual? What's it saying to every individual? So I think that what Torah is teaching us is that Emunah is never inherited collectively, but rather Emunah, belief in God, and commitment to God and to His Torah is something that every single person has to choose personally. Communities can stand together and receive Torah, but individuals stand alone and have to choose their Torah. You can stand with a whole community of people who are identified as people whose essence are Torah. And you're guilty by association. You're living in this Torah world, in this Torah community. But it doesn't mean that your essence is Torah. It doesn't mean that you too are individually committed to Torah and to mitzvahs, to Emunah, to Bitachon, to God. And that's why the Torah comes along and tells us, look, parents can inspire, teachers can teach, friends can encourage, but nobody can choose for you. Re'eh, says the Torah, in the singular. Every individual has to commit themselves, not just the klal. Nobody can choose for you. Nobody can see for you. And that's the reason why we use the word re'eh. Not the word da, not the word know, not the word understand, not the word hear, but the word see. Because as the Mefarshim explain, seeing creates a reality. You can't argue with what your eyes saw. Reality is based on what was seen. Two Adam come into court and they give testimony. It's based on what they saw. When the Torah is something that you know, so then it competes with everything else that you know, with every other idea that's in your head. But when Torah is the way that you see, it's the way that you perceive, then life changes. Ezu chacham haroeh esanolad. Who is a wise person? A person who sees what is yet to happen. Not a person who knows what's going to happen. Not a person who understands what's going to happen. But haroeh esanolad. A person who is able to see what's going to happen. And look what comes next. Moshe turns to the people and says that what is this bracha and klala? Habracha asher tishmu, that you listen to the mitzvahs that Hashem has commanded you today. It's not described as a reward, but it's rather a natural consequence. It's not something that you get later. It's something that begins the moment a reality is correctly perceived. The greatest bracha is seeing the world for what it really is. Re'eh, see, perceive you as an individual. And if you do that, then your life is filled with bracha. Because the way you understand everything that happens, the way you see everything that happens, it is going to be colored by that understanding, that reality. Our choices flow from our perceptions. Bad choices aren't always an indication of bad people. Bad choices are an indication of bad perceptions, of seeing the whole picture. What Moshe Rabbeinu is commanding us is not to make right decisions or wrong decisions. Not to be careful of the right decision, not to be careful of the wrong decision. That we know already. What Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching us is how do you make the right decisions? Re'eh, eyes. Look and perceive in the Torah way. See the world through the lens of Torah, not through the lens of pleasure, not through the lens of personality, not through the lens of what's going to be best for me, but what is the Torah demanding and asking? What is the background, what is the backdrop? What is the coloration of this through the eyes and the schemes of the Torah? Right before we step into this world, Moshe was telling us, fix the eyes, see things. When you see things for what they are, life takes on a different vision and life takes a different direction. You want bracha in your life? Then just see, look correctly. And when you see things correctly, life is filled with amazing brachas. See the Shabbos correctly and have a beautiful, amazing, awesome bracha-filled Shabbos.